G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I promised in another video that I'd show how I try and wire pads out in a black pine. Now I've got this lower branch here that requires some bit of maintenance work. It has some wire on it already, but I want to really show how I am going to tweak this and really create the pads that I'm trying to get to. Now I haven't fully wired the branch yet, but I will wire as I go, and I'll show you what I am going to do and so on. But in essence, this branch is got a couple of branches coming down. So you got one there, one off that way going around. But everything's back to two, which is really important. There's no 3 in one spot. So if you had 3 in one spot, it'll start to swell. 3 or more will make it even swell even more. So that's at least the first thing you need to make sure. You've got no more than 2 in one spot of branching. So I'm going to start to wire this branch, and I'll show you how, position this branch, and I'll show you how I go about having a look and putting things in place. Now, overall, this tree is in another video and you'll see the results, but for now, I'm just going to concentrate on this branch. So I'm going to work with what I've got. So I've already got some wire on there, but I want to kind of position this branch a bit lower down. So I'm going to see how the wire feels on it. It's nice copper. So I've been able to pull it down a bit more. And I'm going to put this one kind of in the pocket. I'm going to leave these ones alone for now. There's a bit of a pocket here that it just fits in nicely. And then I'll just turn kind of the tips up a little bit. And I fan the branch out as much as I can. So by pulling it down, so I start to form a kind of fan shape. So you can kind of see it's a bit more fan shaped. Now, there's some gaps in here which we need to fill, and we'll get to that. But roughly putting it in a position where it comes down, and then flattens out with the pads is what you're aiming for. So I just got to tweak all these. They've got wire on them, some of them already, so it's easier just to maneuver and manipulate. If I have to put wire on, I will. So tweak these down. Let's see if this one is strong enough to hold this down. It's not too bad. I have to apply wire. So I'm trying to flatten down. So you can see this one pops up, so I'll have to wire that. I'll just keep going, see what else I've got. Pulling that into position. Now, is this wire long enough? So this is an issue. So this wire isn't long enough to hold this, so I'll have to rewire that. So let me try and eliminate that wire for now. Let's have a look in here. So a little bit of wire in here too. I'm just trying to fan everything out to really open it up. Now, I haven't put, there's spare bits in here that are open, and that's my main issue. So I start to think about what I can do in terms of bringing some branches around to fill in that gap. So I've been able to use a branch a bit higher up. It's forked into 2. This branch I need to wire and put in place, but I use the smaller one here to bring it around and put it into this gap in here. So now it looks like it's back budded. So it looks like it's got a back bud in there. Do you guys see that? So hopefully you can see that that now is a back budded, looks like a back bud, but it's a branch higher up that I've bent down. So I'll put wire on that just to get this down. And this branch is close to completion once I rewire some of it. So that's how I created a bit more fullness in the branch. Now I'll do the same thing to this side. Again, got a drop, needs a bit of wire on the ends. Now this one is interesting because I'll use this smaller one to build back bud, and it's got some smaller ones up here which I'll have to wire and put into place. And it looks like then I've got back budding without really having back budding. It'd be nice if you had back budding, but if you don't, that's a way to approach it. So I'm just going to wire these guys out, and I'll show you how I put them in place, and then we'll finish this branching and see how it looks. Okay, let's just focus on this branch. I've wired all the little ones that were popping up, so trying to now create a layer in here that is going to be the first and clean underneath, and then trying to create a new one with this little one up here that's creating the back bud, and then this side one will just sit in here now, being a nice little side. So almost like a little mini pad up here, smaller pad up here. Now we've got to work on this. So there's a couple of little ones higher up that just need time to develop. But now I've got this branch in here, which I was just trying to play around with it, and I think I can move more back budding into, pretend there's back budding in here by moving this branch into here, and creates more interesting back budding, and then it looks like back budding anyway. And then I can use this one here to go down and create another pad for the future over here. So now we've got a much more interesting and fuller tree, or fuller branch. So this branch is down here. You can see how it's all wide out. It's going to sit in around there, different planes of branching and layers. Just needs now time to fill up. So you got a layer in there going to fill up. You got a little one in here, you got a little one in here, a little one in here, and a little one in here. Now, over time, that's going to really fill out and become quite nice. So that's how the first part of this branch has been set. Okay, now I'm not going to stop there, because now we need to set this one above here. So I'm just contemplating maybe just getting this around here into this spot here, trying to fill in the gap, bit of a bare spot in here. So now that's the next level. So now we're going to move up the tree and onto these branches. So how is this branch going to fit in with this first bit here? Because this whole thing is a first branch. So again, we need to think about layering and how it's all going to sit. So I like how this is quite low. This one I want to probably almost a layer that's about the same lowness as that. So probably have to put a bit of wire, heavy wire on this branch. The wire was cutting in, so I had to take it off. So now I need to reapply a bit more wire just to probably pull that down a bit more from the top part. So anchor that down into here. Might bring that around there. So I'm going to play around with these branches to really create same kind of layering effect as this, and let it all fill in and actually look like one whole branch rather than a bit of a separate branch. So I need to put some wire on, and then I'll come back and we'll position everything. Okay, so I've applied wire to this side of the tree. Now, if I leave the tree there, I'll try and work it with how you guys can see it. So I'm going to first try and put this one around into here to try and create, looks like a back bud or some back branching in this area here. So now hides this kind of bare spot that was in here. So this branch will eventually become a nice fuller branch and just sit in there nicely, like as another bit of a back branch. I'd like it maybe extended a little bit more into here. It'd be nice to just sit right there. So that's one way to do that. Now I'm going to put this in place. Now I've had to rewire. You can see the new wire on it. I want to try and get it down more, and then try and bring it back up. Sorry, I'm probably blocking your view, but sometimes I just got to, unfortunately, block it until I get this right and happy where it is. So I'm trying to get it pretty much, I reckon, on the same plane as this. So I'm almost there, I think a little bit more. Beauty with pines is they're super flexible. So you can see that pretty much close. It's pretty close now. Pretty close if you look at it. It's probably just a little high still, but it's not far off. So just keep working on it a little bit. Okay, we'll try and put it in there for now. So it looks good. Now I'm just going to try and set these inner ones. Now I did want to try and get this closer in now, so I'm going to try and bring this around a bit more. So it's coming closer to this branch rather than being too far out. So it should be okay there. Might have to bring it in a bit more. That's better. I think that's where it needed it. So it's in nice and close to this branch now. Much more compact. Now there's not as many branches I can get in here. I think this one probably can be done in here to try and create that little back bud in this section, in this bare section in here. So if you look on it side on, they come a bit more closer, it's a bit more fuller, a bit more tighter, not so sparse and nice and bit more compact. We'll have a look at the overall look of this area in a minute. But that's that one. Now we've just got that branch in there. Now I've got two things to do. Do I put it in the back, letting it sit in the back over here somewhere? Or can I bring it maybe I can bring it around, creating a bit more of a branch, a bit more dynamic branch that sits kind of in here. It's almost like another branch of this branch, but I don't think it works that well. So I might have to, unfortunately, put it at the back, which kind of hides it, but sometimes you need the depth. So just hiding it in the back, and maybe that's okay for now. Not too happy with that. I prefer it to come over the top and sit in here, but I'm going to try that one more time. Let's have a look, see if we can get it up and around and see if it works. Not too bad. I might try and use that for now. Put it in there. So how does that look? So it's a bit more of a, looks like another branch up there, but I'm going to just tweak it a bit more. I think it has to go down. And it might look good in that spot. Acts as another branch, I guess. Move him a bit more around this way. So now it's almost like another branch there. It's a bit high up. I'm going to just work on it to get it down into this spot in here. A bit more. It might work there. It might actually work overall for this branch. So now that I've positioned it with the layering all the way around, positioning, see how I put branches in to create more filled in areas, brought this branch in to fill in this area. It looks more fuller. So once this really fills out, we're going to get layers and layers and layers. So like little clouds of foliage, clouds of foliage, clouds of foliage, not one big mass. It'll be nice bunches everywhere. So that's the plan. So nice bunches in here, bunch in there, and that's that first branch. So that's one branch done. Overall looks pretty, I'm pretty happy with it. You got to be a bit of an imagination, but that's how you space it out, put layers on top of each other, bring branches in to make back budding, and that's how you create a branch for a pine. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you around for more.